my loves. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being here. As always, please remember to hit that subscribe button, to like, to share this video, and of course, you can also hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on any updates from this channel. We are almost hitting 2,000 subscribers. I mean, 2,000 of you chose me. I am one lucky girl. I am so blessed. God bless you. I love you guys to bits and pieces. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being here. It's more than you'll ever know. Now let's get into this story. So it appears the leftover royals are rattled. William and Marbles are so rattled, and finally they have decided to speak about Epstein. Thing is, the public is not happy with what they put out. The public is very furious. The backlash is unreal. But first and foremost, have a look at what they had to say.
Good morning. We've got some breaking news to bring you now because William and Kate have broken their silence on the ongoing revelations in the Jeffrey Epstein files.
The Prince of Wales is about to begin his first visit to Saudi Arabia, and while there, a Kensington Palace spokesperson has just said the following. I can confirm the Prince and Princess have been deeply concerned by the continuing revelations. Their thoughts remained focused on the victims.
Well, we can bring in our royal correspondent Rhiannon Mills, who's in Riyadh for us, so travelling there, of course, with Prince William. Rhiannon, what do you make of the statement?
So look, you should not underestimate just how big this is. This makes William and Kate the most senior royals so far to comment since the latest release of those Epstein files. And yes, while the words may not be the sentiments that some people want them to make, the fact that they are saying they are deeply concerned about the latest revelations, the fact that those revelations, many of them relate to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, William's uncle, but also the fact that he has also so far not commented. The fact that they realise that they, I think, had to say something. This, of course, has come from a palace spokesperson. But again, in many ways, they are repeating a line that we've already heard from the royal family, which is that we must think of the victims. This also is the first time we've heard anything publicly from William and Kate about Epstein, full stop. So that's why it is a big moment. And the fact that the palace have decided to put this statement out there before William has even landed here in Saudi, I think shows that they really knew they needed to get this out there, that people were going to keep talking about it. They had to get it out there if they were having any fighting chance of being able to focus on what's a really important diplomatic trip for him. But yeah, other senior members of the royal family have tried to avoid this topic over the last week. We know the King was shouted at during a walkabout in Essex last week. He didn't answer. Prince Edward was also asked about it in Dubai. He did give some kind of response, again saying think of the victims. And that does appear to be the royal family's line. We heard it back in October when Andrew was stripped of his titles and stripped of his home. But yeah, whether or not this is going to be enough to stop it distracting from William's trip to Saudi, we're going to have to wait and see over the next few days.
So imagine of years waiting for the leftover royals to break silence on Andrew and Epstein scandal, and this is the best they could do. 2 bland sentences. We are deeply concerned. Like, that's it. Mind you, this is not them directly talking to the media. No, they sent their spokesperson to deliver this to the media. That we are deeply concerned. Like, it's the first time they're hearing about this. Like, they live under a rock, they don't know what's happening, and they are hearing of what's going on for the first time. You know you've messed up big time when you have your biggest psycho fans not impressed with this statement. People are like, no. For example, you heard PC Morgan say, we're all deeply concerned. I don't think a bland 2-line statement from a spokesman is going to cut it for the royals now. The Epstein scandal is in danger of becoming an existential threat to the monarchy itself if they don't tackle the Andrew crisis head on. The biggest sycophant is not impressed with that. The biggest sycophant is not impressed. And let me tell you, the internet is not happy. The backlash is brutal. The backlash is next level. They're being cooked left, right, and center, sauteed, fried, boiled, whatever you want to call it, all across multiple media outlets. Of course, you have the UK ones, typical. They are disabling comments. like Sky News, continue to protect the leftover royals. They don't want them to be held accountable. Right now, the internet has tons of questions, rightfully so. So many questions that need answers, because what William and Kate are saying versus their actions, they don't go in line. They are not much. They're not at par with one another. They say one thing and their actions depict another thing. For example, now they're claiming they're deeply concerned for the victims. But let me take you back a little bit. And this is why I love the internet, because the internet has receipts. The receipts are always going to be there, and in times like this, that's when you pull them out. So were they deeply concerned when they tried to rehabilitate Andrew's image? Let me take you back. So back in the fold, Andrew joins Princess Kate, William and Charles for first summer holiday break at Balmoral since Queen's death. That's literally what they were doing. Okay, also remember that time when William and Kate specifically said that they would rather have Andrew as a neighbor and no Harry and Meghan. Again, here we go. So you have, this is what they said, sorry. William and Kate would prefer Andrew as neighbor over Harry and Meghan, claims royal commentator. Remember that time when King Charles evicts Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage and offers home to Andrew? Yeah, we've seen this over and over. Remember how they tried to act like they're unity? Let me take you back. So Andrew traveling to church with Prince William and Kate at Balmoral was a public statement of togetherness, but he will never return to official duties. That's basically what they were doing. So this is how deeply concerned they are. And again, knowing how disgusting Epstein was, and even after conviction, William still knowingly took and accepted a donation from Epstein. Here's the article. Yeah, this is how deeply concerned they were for the victims, or they are for the victims. With everything that's going on right now, right? With literally everything that's going on right now, you get to understand why they hired the crisis manager to begin with. We thought it's about Harry and Meghan and invictus. No, it was about this. And the fact that they came out to put this statement, a lot of people are convinced there's more to come. There's so much more to come. And they're only coming forward to save face. Like they feel like, oh, we did not know about this. Like, I mean, we said something, right? They're saving face. So people are like, we want the monarchy to be abolished, because how long are we going to entertain this? They've been protecting this man clear as day and night. And I'm telling you, the backlash is something else. Oh, again, let me take you back again. Remember how the whole world watched William and Kate, the leftover royals, causing up to Trump. Trump, whose name has appeared several times in the Epstein files. Remember that time? In fact, we were even told Kate is the secret weapon to charm Donald Trump during his state visit to the UK. So you had how the royal aide oversaw royal protection at Epstein's homes, emails claim. These people are so into it. There's so much, like a lot of people are like, are they complicit? That's what's going on. Royals deployed Kate Middleton's charm to soften Donald and Melania Trump's visit. Oh, you had another one. Kate Middleton will be the royal family's secret support during Trump's visit. Again now, King Charles, how are you telling us you are deeply concerned, but we've seen you. You've been causing to this man, not once or twice, so many times. You prefer this man over our gorgeous, amazing Prince, the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry. You took Harry's security, but you've protected this man. Oh, why did you guys pay £12 million to make this all go away? Oh, remember that time when William and Kate shut down Virginia Giuffre's interview with NBC? Remember that time? Interview with ABC. Remember that time? So, don't tell us you're concerned. You're not concerned for the victims. You're just trying to save face. This is damage control at best, which is just mediocre at this point. And the timing, oh, how noble of you, how convenient of you. If this man was not going to Saudi, I doubt they'll put out a statement or anything. If he was not going to Saudi, they'll act like they don't know what's going on. So the internet, the backlash is brutal, and I'm telling you, can you blame people? People are sick and tired of this, dude. People are so sick and tired. I'm telling you, if I had it within me, I'd read you thousands of comments just of them being whooped. You know, whooped. People are sick and tired of this. The public is so fed up. If you look at the Epstein files, I'm telling you, you'll never look at the world the same. And that's why people are furious, because how have you been protecting this person, knowing very well what this person has been doing? Do you get that? Anyway, let me just get to the comments so you guys have an understanding of how the internet is reacting. So you had SK says, all empty performative PR. So glad the masses are seeing through this bullshit. They weren't concerned in 2023 when Virginia was still alive and fighting to bring these peas to justice. They said they worked hard to try and rehabilitate his image. Liz, deeply concerned while doing F all except thoughts. Totally inadequate, late, and completely out of step with what is really required. Action and accountability. Pathetic. Nico, they didn't look that concerned while it was happening in royal residences. Claire, where was the concern when Prince Andrew paid a victim £12 million? You only now care because you've been called out for the role you played. Never said anything about the victims to this day. You're only concerned for the monarchy, never for the victims. Peter Hunt, he's a BBC journalist, says the royals are rattled and rightfully so. Zach says they got ABC to cancel an interview with Virginia Giuffre. That alone says it all. Liam, funny how they're only deeply concerned now he's been found out. Alex, what a joke. While they sheltered and played happy families with Andrew, talk is cheap. Linda, so they make a statement, the absolute minimum, and without naming Andrew? Panit says, I don't believe any of them. They're only sorry when it threatens to knock them off their perch. They covered up, they are complicit. Cleo, their concern arrives conveniently late. How noble. Regan, how has the UK not gotten rid of the monarchy yet? They literally mock you and think you're better than you. They think they're better than you, and the cherry on top is that they get you to pay for it. Right on, that's a sure sign more damaging revelations are on their way. Princess, deeply concerned about their self-image and none for the welfare of the actual victims. The lack of elaboration on what the concern is speaks volumes. Olukule says, when institutions hide behind spokesmen, they collapse under scandals. If the royals don't confront the Andrew Epstein crisis head-on, they risk turning a personal disgrace into a constitutional one. Michelle, the monarchy is at the center of the worst scandal of the 21st century, and finally, they put out a wishy-washy statement when complicit. No thanks. Too many scandals and an obscene black hole of taxpayers' hard-earned money. Oluomo, we are all deeply concerned about our leaders' behavior off camera. Startle, they all knew for years and did absolutely nothing. If the Epstein files weren't released, not one would have raised an eyebrow. This goes to show it's dog eat dog even with the royals. John says, so they are deeply concerned. And we all, what a weak and pathetic statement. Concerned? Is that it? Oh, that's okay then. We've waited a whole week for a message and this is the best they and the advisors can come up with? Seriously. Nigel, what took them so long? Meghan, Prince William released this statement because he fears reporters asking him about his nuanced uncle during his trip to Saudi Arabia. He doesn't care about the victims. Fun hypocrites. William and Kate chose to support Andrew, chose to make public statement of togetherness, chose to drive him to church, chose to fly with him instead of other family members. Harry, the only thing they're deeply concerned with is preserving their position as Britain's premier doll bludgeoning parasites. John, they're that concerned that they took the time to get a spokesperson say about a dozen words on their behalf. Tyreen, Will wasn't concerned when he was taking donations from Epstein for his charity. That's Warren concerned? You mean panicking? The public have had enough and want rid of these sponging deviant grifters. Time to clear them all out, as we'll never know the full truth. They'll say anything to save their own necks. Kaya, crazy they only just found out. Thoughts and prayers to those living under a rock for a decade despite being related. Curious, yet for decades they were silent. What exactly do they actually do for the British people? Someone remind me. This nation says, or F off. They knew more than they let on. This is the most glaringly obvious damage control. George, they only speak now as their castles are crumbling around them. And finally, Nina, William Parker Bowles had an issue with Prince Harry, but was covering his uncle Prince Andrew for years. Now that there is a wild condemnation about his family knowing about Epstein, he comes out pretending he didn't know anything and he is concerned. So guys, there's so much backlash. You can go check out BBC on X and read the comments. I'm telling you, they're brutal. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.